It might be because of coronavirus. It might be because you have a child with a cold. It might be because other people at work are sick. Whatever the reason, a lot of people are now working remotely rather than going into the office.
Here's some good news. There are tools that will help you work from home, and Rich Brooks with Flight New Media has some of those tips for us. Thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure to see you guys.
Let's start with the basics. Basically, what do we need at home?
Well, once you get past having a computer and an internet connection, the next thing you're probably going to want to be able to do is just work on your current projects and documents. So a lot of companies use the Google Suite. At Flight, we do as well. And so we're using Google Docs, we're using Google Spreadsheets. So it's really easy for me to jump on the laptop that I either brought home with me or a home computer and access all my files. Other companies that may be PC-based are probably using Microsoft 365. And if you don't have either of those, or you're using tools not in either one of those suites, then maybe you have something like Dropbox. That's one of my favorites. A place in the cloud to store all my files. So whether I'm at home, at work, on the road, tablet, laptop, smartphone, it doesn't matter. I have access to all my files and I'm able to make changes from whatever device I'm on. That's critical.
It's obviously not a good thing to be staying at home when a lot of other people are in the office and they know what's going on that day and you don't. So ideas for staying in touch with your coworkers.
Yeah, I think it's critical these days to have some sort of video communication app. Zoom is probably the most popular, but then there's also things like Skype or GoToMeeting. And I think it's also important, and all of those also have screen sharing options, which is nice too. So if you can't look over somebody's shoulder or they can't look over yours, to be able to share your screen with them and show what's going on, that's critically important for working remotely. And then the other thing is just to keep in mind that some of these are free, like you get free Zoom, free Skype, although there's also paid versions. And then GoToMeeting, there is a monthly cost that you're going to have to pay for it. But those are some great tools for just staying in touch virtually with some other people.
At the end of the day, a lot of this comes down to what the company can provide. What should companies be thinking about for apps, programs for their employees?
These days, a lot of companies are used to working with remote, either contractors or employees, so they may have some of these things set up. If you're a company and you're thinking about how do we keep the communications flowing in any sort of situation, Slack is a popular instant messaging tool a lot of companies use. So you can set up one Slack, as it's called, for all the office communications. Another one maybe would just be for HR or for sales or marketing, whatever it would be. And this is how you can just have ongoing conversations with your teammates, even if you're in your home and they're in theirs as well. So that's a good one right there.
When it comes to working remotely, this is not your first rodeo. You've been doing this for a long time. But what advice would you offer to people who are new to it and aren't quite sure how to navigate it?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people who don't deal with this on a daily basis are freaked out that they're not going to get a lot done. I would say is as much as you can replicate the office environment. So hide the TV remote. Don't set up in the kitchen because you're constantly going to be seeing snacks and you're going to keep on taking breaks and stuff like that.
Wait a minute, let me stop you there, because what we do in our newsroom half the time is we're watching what's on the TV screen and we're going to get snacks.
Yeah.
All right, well, then for you, maybe you need to replicate that. Also, if you do have people in your home with you, whether they're small kids or adults, you got to let them know, like, this is work time. Like, I'll take care of you here, but this is work time right here. And I also found some apps that might be helpful. One is called FocusMate, which I thought was interesting, where you get partnered with another remote worker and you kind of have a screen live so you know that each other are both working on your project, so there's a certain accountability. And then there's also this paid music service called Focus at Will, which is scientifically proven to increase your productivity by 4 times. I personally am totally fine with the Downbeat Radio on Apple Music or the Focus playlist on Spotify, which are more or less both, well, not free, but part of the package. I would just recommend that you don't do the ones with commercials, because going from this very zen moment to all of a sudden this used car salesman yelling at you over your radio, that can be distracting.
I actually find it easier sometimes to work from home than in our newsroom because there's so much going on all the time. But I do that same. I put classical music on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
Drown them out.
There you go.
Our workplace is not as disciplined as your workplace, Rich.
Oh, you've not been to my workplace, but anyway.
Good suggestions. Thank you so much for coming in. Rich Brooks from Flight New Media. That full list of Rich's ideas is on our website in the 207 section, and we will return right after this.